Hello to one and all. This is Dr.P.Shobha, Rani, working as a professor in the Department of CSE, RMD Engineering College. Today, we will try to see about validation. Before that, we'll try to see elaboration. Elaboration, as we have already learned in the class, what is meant by inception and elicitation. Elaboration is nothing but the third task of software engineering, object-oriented software engineering, requirements engineering. Actually, elaboration is the task after we'll get where the information has been taken from the user during the inception and elicitation and are expanded and refined in elaboration. Actually, the main task of elaboration is developing pure model of software engineering using the functions, features, and constraints of a software. Next, we'll try to see the negotiation. Negotiation is nothing but actually, as the word says, that what is meant by negotiations. Customer asks for more inputs, what their goals to be fulfilled. But we will not be able to, as a software organization, we will not be able to spend or provide that much of resources. So we will try to give the limited resources. They may propose a conflicting requirements because the requirements engineering, the customers will demand more of requirements, but that cannot be done for everything. So we'll try to give the limited resources only. So negotiation will help us to reconsider what the customer is in need of it, and we will be able to negotiate between the organization as well as the customers. So the customers, users, and other stakeholders ask to rank the requirements and to discuss the conflicts that has been arised between the customers and then the software engineers, and they both will sit together and they will decide which to be given a priority, which not to be given a priority. That is nothing but actually after concluding that which topic to be given priority, and then they will start for the negotiation. Prioritize the requirements, assesses their cost and risk, and then address the internal conflicts. This means first they will list out all the prioritized requirements, and then they will assess according to the cost and the requires, and they will see according to the requirement or maybe which to be given prioritized or not, and then they will find out the internal conflicts that are going to happen when they give what type of a prioritizations to the requirements. Next, we will go for the specification. Specification is nothing but it is actually a document that has been defined already, or that has been described already in the form of a graphical model, or in the form of a text model, or in the form of a UML model, or in the form of a mathematical model. Various types of the scenarios that are required for that project has been given in the form of a module of a specification, and we'll have a combination of the mathematical models, graphical models. We'll have a combination of the use case models, graphical models, because specification of that particular project, a project has been divided into various sub-projects, and for each module, what will be the specification, what will be the scenario, and how much of cost it will take, how much of manpower it will take, how much of time it will take, will be concluded by drawing the graphical models and then the mathematical side. Projects use either a standard template or a flexible specification. The standard template means few or ins and outs has been specified at the beginning itself, and they don't change that one during the process or progress of the software specification. And then the if it is a flexible specification, then and there, wherever you wanted to make the changes of the requirements, you will be able to change. That is nothing but the flexible specification that leads in an understandable requires. The formality and format of the specification varies with the size and the complexity. So if it is a small project, the specification size also will be less. If it is a large project, or if the complexity increases, and then the specification increases. So specification according to the specification of the graphical model, specification about the manpower, specification about the time, cost, everything is decided based on the project what we have received. Next, we'll try to see what is meant by validation. After specification, the next topic what we are going to see is nothing but the validation, because once the inception, as well as the, for example, elicitation, elaboration, and specification go on, then we'll go for the validation. Validation, as we know that the meaning itself will says that you are going to validate, for example, the given specification, everything and all. So what we will do now, we will do the verification and validation by investing that a software system satisfies the specification and satisfies the standards, and it will fulfill the required purpose. So we are going to give much importance to the validation. See, in this verification are nothing but we are building the product, right? Validation is nothing but we are building the right product or not, we will check it out. So that is the meaning of validation. That's what it has been defined here, that the software which will have to be stated unambiguously. Okay, so what we are going to, and then the customer validation is a process of checking whether the software product is up to the mark, or in other words, the product has a high level requirements. It is a process of checking the validation of a product, that is, it checks what we are developing is the right product, or it is validating the actual product or not, or it is validating the actual and expected product or not. So validation sometimes can be a static testing, or sometimes it can be dynamic testing. Most probably validation is the dynamic testing only. So there are two types of requirements for the possible problems in validation. The software should be user friendly, otherwise we will face so many problems if the software is not user friendly. And the probability of the success for an unauthorized database also, it should be, the probability of successful should be should be very high, and the probability of unsuccessful for an unauthorized database should be less than 0.001. We will see in the next class. Thank you.